Remember this, nothing happens until you do. So, but you need to know what you are doing. So declaration comes with a 3-step process. Once you declare that, okay, that's what I am going to create. Then you get into the second phase about doing. And doing as if your life depends on it.
Why? Why as if your life depends on it? Why is that an important part of that?
Absolutely. So first of all, you are declaring something which was not possible without you made it as a declaration.
Okay.
We talked about I have a dream. If Martin Luther King said that, was it easy
No.
to make that happen about having a person of color like me and a white, like, can they live together? Can they travel together? Can they go to school together? There was no chance for me, a person like me, to come on this side of the world and live the way I live. Because he has a
He
dream.
made a declaration.
He had made a declaration. Same way, India shall be free, or no one should be left behind. None of those things were easy. None of those things were simple. And none of those things were happening without somebody said so.
Yeah, so those are really big declarations. So, for our listeners who are just thinking about, their own lives right now. Yes, obviously, I'm not discrediting our listeners. I know they're up to big things as well, but, for some baby steps,
Yeah.
what?
So let's talk about that when I
Yes.
got it. So for example, I want us to go into the horizon and vector of, those big things which people have accomplished and then little things people can accomplish. So for example, one says that I want to be financially free. $50,000 in my bank account. It's simple. Or I want to pay off my car loan.
Right.
Could be
well, and
simple.
like financially free is a declaration. The others are goals.
Yeah, that is goals. And I want to make sure that not to get stuck in the semantics, but let's continue to use simple declaration. For example, you make of, I want to be financially free.
Yes.
Like that's what you said. So let's talk about the goal in that regard. Let's pay off the car loan. For me, it can be a declaration for someone. That's all what I want to do.
Totally.
Right? So what do you do? Right? And so what I was sharing about why action is critical. The reason why it is critical because you are going uphill. You created a loan. You put a lot of weight on you. You have done something. Relationship is toxic because something was not working. Now, the moment you take an action, you need to go, two things you need to do. First, you need to come back to where it's nullified the past challenges which made that thing difficult.
What do you mean by that?
So for example, if let's say I have a weight to lose, somewhere that weight has been put on me.
Okay.
So now first of all, I need to create habits where I can come to a place where I can lose. So first of all, I need to stop eating extra.
So stop doing what got you there in the
Right.
first place.
So that itself is a uphill.
Yes.
Then you need to create a deficit of calories. So now it's a double whammy. Right? So challenge is like nothing happens until you do. First is you had difficulty which created that mass for you to start with.
Right.
And then now you need to go up against that.
Right.
So you need to put more effort on that. So that's the reason why action are so critical. So critical. And those actions are not normal actions. You are going against the norm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I meant when I was sharing about nothing happens until you do, and why it is critical to make your declaration or goal as a reality.
Right.
Right? So I was telling about Tasha 3-step process. So you have declaration, then you take action. Now when you take action, in real world, something would work, something would not work.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
Right? Or something would not work to the extent that you want that
Right.
to work. Now there is a third step where most of the people, becomes so demoralizing in their lives, and they demoralize, not demoralizing, but they get quite give up, discouraged. That's a better word for what I'm explaining. That they give up.
Right.
They discourage, they give up, they don't see any hope, or it's not enough, or whatever, I already knew that it would not work. they go into the self-pity mode.
Mm-hmm.
I think rather than going to that mode, they need to really look at the outcomes in an objective way. That
Okay.
what was happening. That if I took an action and something did not work, what was missing? And look at that part, what was missing, as a way to improve in that area. Rather than discourage, self-pity, give up, not being excited about the future, all that stuff is what I can share, Tasha, is the third step. And then learn and come back to taking action and make it happen again.
Totally. So, what about the people who don't know what to declare?
Huh?
Or they don't, they think that they're fine.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn the table, Tasha.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, consider you are that person. That
Okay.
you don't know what to declare,
Okay.
right? Now, let me ask you a question. Are you happy in every area of your life?
Are we role playing right now, or are you
I'm-
genuinely asking me?
I'm genuinely asking you,
No, I'm not happy in every area of my life.
right? And then you can extend that to role playing also too. That the moment I ask you, simple question one should ask is which area of my life is not working?
My finances.
Finances is one. So great, and right away you can see if you say that I don't know, but the moment I ask you a question, share one area of your life is not working to the extent that you want it to work. You have one area.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody says that they don't have any area, I would say turn off this podcast right now and enjoy your day, because probably you are all gone by, like you figure it out. You have everything in at a level where you want it to be. So why to waste your time on listening to this podcast? That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But if you are someone who can ask a question, pause it, pause the podcast right now and ask a question. An area of your life or multiple areas of your life that not working to the extent that you want it to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the declaration starts from, right? And then you look at what is it which I want in that area.
Right.
What is it which I want in that area of my life to see happening, or I want to see, let's say this, Tasha, when I ask you a question, which area of your life, you say finances, so
Mhm.
that's one. Now look at what is your ideal world in that space. Where do you want it to be?
It would be to be financially free, to not live paycheck to paycheck, and to have a savings account that could support me if the worst happens.
Clear? So now you have a declaration to make, is that you want to be financially free,
Mm-hmm.
where finances is not a worry and concern.
Right.
So I'll give you one goal in that, in case if you want to see that as a possibility. Again, I'm coming back to the semantic of it, because
Yeah.
I don't want audience to too much get hung on this word declaration,
Totally.
right? So, for example, your declaration is to be financially free, but what does it mean? How do you touch it? How do you feel it? So here's how I measure my financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to a restaurant and I never see the right side for the dish
The cost of the dish.
that I want to order,
Yeah. You just don't pay attention to it.
I always order what I like. Similarly, if I go to a store, clothes particularly, and I never look at the tag. If I like something, I just buy.
Mm-hmm.
These are very simple measurements.
Yeah, those are definite measurements for sure.
And if I could do that on a consistent basis, for me, that's probably a state of financial freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there is that element of, we talked about this in at our leadership offsite recently. We worked with projects and we came up with some projects, and you asked us to look at 4 things. What is the project? Why is it important? How are you going to execute on it? And how are you going to measure that it was successful,
Yep.
essentially? And so I think that the same thing can be applied to these declarations. What are you declaring? Why are you declaring it? Because that's an important part. If you lose sight of your why, then why are you going to stick to it?
And by the way, without why, there is no declaration.
No.
You must know why are you saying what you are saying, why you want what you want.
Right. And then how are you going to do it? Are those goals? They're the setting those small goals for yourself. So with my finances, you know, it's taking a look at my budget and seeing what can be cut. You know, what miscellaneous things am I spending money on, and taking that. It's, you know, not online shopping anymore. It's setting those small goals, and then, you know, the measurement would be something similar to that. It's can I go out to dinner with friends and not even think about the price, you know, not even worry, and just be able to be present with them in the moment, and not worry about, can I pay this bill at the end of the night?
Absolutely, and I think you can see those goals. We start this being financial free is a state of being.
Yeah.
For example, now for me, financial freedom, perhaps for me, has been from that place called I don't need to look at the right side when I order a dish, to buying a nice pair of slacks and shirt. I don't need to look at the price tag, to can I send my son to a school of his choice without worrying about, without taking a diet. Truly the thing which you stand for, and can you provide that for your family members? And if something happened, God sake, if there is an emergency at home, can I take them to the right kind of hospital where the right medical attention can be given to those who I love, my loved ones. So these are some of the goals, some of the objectives, some of the milestones. But state of being is a declaration for me, was and has been, is that money is never been a concern for me. Can I be a state of being where financial freedom is not even a point of consideration and conversation in my mind?
So, could it reach a point that declaration is no longer needed because it is your state of being now, and not?
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a better way to look at it. But I don't want audience to really reach to nirvana state of, oh, I'm done of life. But you need to get to a place where health and fitness, for example, for someone, that's not even a point of conversation.
Right.
It becomes second nature.
It is just the way that you live your life.
In fact, that's who you are.
Right.
You eat proper, you go to gym, you live your life. Now you're playing big games.
And it's not the same, it doesn't occur for you in the same way as it did when you started your journey.
Totally.
Because it shifted.
And I can see when you started the journey, you had a two part of the game.
Yeah.
One, you need to really overcome what brought that mass to you and what started for you to start with, and then going beyond that. So initially it's all uphill battle. I call it flywheel. If train is off track, bringing back train on track itself is a lot of work. And then inertia. You need to give that one, and then it takes time to get that momentum going, and then flywheel, and then before you know it has its own speed. And it's running, and then you are enjoying the journey.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I want to share, Tasha. My one call to action for you in that financial, maybe we can do the recap when we come back, maybe a month or two from here.
Totally.
I want call to action for you to take it on.
Yeah.
All these 4 steps. Look at how you are going to achieve the financial freedom. What is your financial freedom? Right? Why do you want to? You want to have freedom, and how you're going to do it, and how you're going to measure. I think we should do one more episode on this in next quarter, 3 months from now.
Yeah.
And look at what actions you have taken, what you have done, and it would be good for our audience to come back and tune in and listen to the journey, because we are going to make it real.
Yeah.
There is no more preaching here, right? It's all about we are gotten by it, and we are going to follow what we talk.
Yeah,
what we share.
I have no problem sharing that. In fact, we can create a social media post for it and just blast it out there. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of accountability. Woo!
I know. That's what you're going to get from G.
I know. Oh, I
It's not going to
know.
go away. Awesome.
Annalisa, what are your thoughts? What kinds of things showed up for you as you're listening?
A lot of things showed up. I would say when you asked the question about what's not there for you, it really put it into perspective for me. And I think that after listening to this, there's a lot of actions that I'm going to take. There's a lot of places in my life where I see there's room for improvement. And it kind of changed my perspective from I'm going to accept it to I'm going to do something about it.
Beautiful.
And so I'm really excited about that.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Annalisa. And I think Annalisa gave me something for our next podcast or some point of time. What is your state of being while you are doing it?
Yeah.
right?
Because that's important too. If you're hating the entire process,
It's not
then
worth it.
No, it's not worth it. You're not, and you're not going to stick to it. It's not
Yeah.
going to. Nothing is. The results will never be there.
As much as journey, reaching to the destination is important, enjoying the journey is equally important.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that also.
Totally.
Right, Alyssa? So not
Yeah.
only you're going to take some action, but what the state of being while you're taking action.
Yes, of course.
Sounds
Yeah,
good?
Got it.
Awesome. Great.
Any last thoughts, comments, anything for our listeners?
I think you got it. Like you make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to our audience like you take it on, buddy.
Yeah.
And I think you can make it happen. I have no doubt. Nothing is bigger, nothing is big, nothing is difficult, nothing is challenging. It all comes down to the state of being where you are clear what is it which you want out of your life. And I'm going to keep talking about life is too short.
Yeah.
Life is absolutely too short, and don't live in a state of misery and a state of, oh, I'm not good enough and it's not possible, it's too difficult.
Right.
All that is a self-pity conversation, not helpful.
Right.
We all are born champion, and we can live as a champion and we can die as a champion. So you got it. No area of your life is big enough and challenging enough that you cannot do much about that. It's all matter of state of being where you declare something that no, enough is enough. I'm going to do something, and then take action, and don't discourage yourself when you don't see results. Keep going. Learn from those failures and shortfalls, and eventually you are going to come out winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd also just encourage our listeners too to just share with us. We'll be your accountability. You can be mine, and we'll be yours. So share. Feel free to reach out to us on any of our social media and share what you're up to. Make your declarations public. Maybe we can create an Instagram or a hashtag.
Yeah.
Instagram. I sounded 45 years old there. Sorry, no offense.
Yeah, nobody. I'm 48, so you cannot.
No, yeah, we can create a hashtag then
Hashtag.
for this that people can share their own declarations.
Yeah, hashtag declaration.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Make it happen.
Yeah, I think it's great that you've created a challenge and encourage people to take action. I think that going forward with the podcast, it's great for everyone to have something that the listeners will get out of and accept that challenge, and we would love to hear the feedback.
Totally.
Absolutely. Great work, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for
Thank you.
tuning in, guys.
Yeah, awesome. Take
All
care,
right.
everyone.